G'day everyone, my name is David Mine. Welcome back to First Time Reefer TV. And today we are in the fish room, and as you can see, this room is actually finally nearing completion. I've just got to do a little bit of painting on this wall. Sparky work's done, and we are ready to give the floors a clean and get the stand in. So this is getting ready to boogie really soon for all those that have been asking. Now, thanks to everyone who watched part 1 of Yoshi's amazing tank. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to leave a link up in the corner here and you can watch that. Today we've got part 2 of the rest of Yoshi's interview, and man, wait till you hear what he says at the end of this video. It's going to blow your mind. So thanks for watching, guys, and let's roll over to the video.
Yep. I'm just going to turn the sound off. I still can't believe you're saying. And this video is just with a little bit more white light, less blue, so it looks more like a daytime setting.
Yep, this is the daytime setting.
So that's your maintenance routine. What's been the biggest mistake you've made? Do you make mistakes?
Yeah, I do. I 100% do. And I made a big mistake right from the start, to be honest with you. So I made this scape with quite a lot of rocks. So the rock is the aquascaping. Yeah. So I didn't really think about the space for corals to grow.
Yeah.
So when the aquaphora start growing, it really quickly ran out of the space. So I should have made this aquascaping a bit more simple so that I have more room for them to grow. And also the height of the aquascaping a bit too high. So it's difficult to manage flow on the top of the scape. The light might be a bit too high. A lot of aquaphora gets burned on the top. So I have to choose what goes on the top of the tank very carefully. But next time, if I have a project upgraded to the bigger tank, then I know what to do next time.
Yeah, amazing. So the scape was your biggest mistake. Has a disaster ever happened in your tank?
No, not really. I did have a KH swing a few times in the last 18 months. So in 2 days, alkalinity dropped from around 8 to 5.8, like below 6.
Oh my God!
In just a matter of 2 days. That's the reason why I check dosing systems every week. But at that time, it was very hard. A lot of corals lost color, went brown, some of them just died. But it took a good 4 months to get recovered, to say that, yes, it's good back on track. Yeah, it came back now. But
man,
I
really clearly back. I mean, look at this side shot of your tank, man. Like, this is crazy.
That's a lot of corals.
I mean, it's grown so much since we saw this on Reef Builders.
Yes, that's quite true. Sometimes I look at my old photos and it's amazing. Some of the pieces they just grown like 5 times, 6 times bigger than when it first came in just months ago, and it's just amazing. But that's a very satisfying part of this hobby.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now, we got crucified last time. We did a top 5 tips video, remember?
Yep.
When I first met you. So now we've had a bit of time to process, and we've learned from that. If you were going to talk to Yoshi from 4 years ago, actually, before we do that, let's quickly talk about your sump walkthrough here. So, what skimmer is that? That's the Air Aqua Max Spec skimmer.
Yep. So I've got 8600. It's hard to see in the video the bubble, how fine the bubble, and the bubble movement is phenomenal.
They've got the unique impeller design where one is actually fixed and the other one's moving. So that's why you get such fine bubbles.
That's right. I can watch the bubble for 5 minutes without doing anything. It's so satisfying. Yeah.
That's your massive refugium. I know you're a huge fan of refugium.
Yep.
And is that just like a little, like a Bunnings Warehouse light, or is that?
Yeah, that was $20 Bunnings Warehouse. Yes, you're right.
Crazy. Yeah, here we are spending thousands of dollars, and you just got a $20 light running it. What are you running in? What are you running in the media reactor?
In this reactor, I got zeolite.
Yep. Just zeolite?
So zeolite, Yeah, just a zeolite. I don't really want the zeolite to absorb the heavy metal or anything. The reason why I use zeolite is I want the bacteria to grow in zeolite. The bacteria, like I said earlier, it's very important foundation of successful reef tank. So that's another way of keeping bacteria alive. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a bag of carbon you've just got hanging there as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And this drum here, what's in that drum?
It's the R water, the gravity-fed top-off system. So it's a very simple float switch.
Yeah, I love gravity-fed. Nice and easy.
Yep, nice and easy.
Yeah. And then that's all your max spec controller that you've got.
Yep.
So you're running two wave makers, and that's on the pulsing mode.
The pulsing mode, that's for the skimmer. It's set to 7, so it's fairly strong.
Yeah.
That's the return pump, set to 6. It probably turns around about 6,000 to 7,000 liters an hour, about maybe 11 times an hour turnover rate. And that's the eCoral controller there.
Yeah, I run the eCoral controller as well, and I've just hooked up the power board, and I found it fantastic. Super easy.
Yeah, the wireless power board, awesome, great idea.
Yeah, but it's really super easy to use and connect the eCoral stuff.
Yeah, the connection usually is a big problem in this kind of electronic networking stuff. I never had any issues.
Yeah.
And that's the eCoral dosa, 4 channels, perfect for Triton 1, 2, 3, and 3B.
Yeah.
And that's the containers 1, 2, 3A, and 3B.
So Triton is just the 4 parts.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
And here's everything else that I use.
So where does your calc water go? In the RO drum?
It's actually behind the tank. So I have about 20 centimeters gap behind the tank. Then I have a 5-liter container at the back. Then I use 2 dosing pumps. That's maybe at the time when I shoot this video, I only used 1. Then I was dosing 50 milliliters an hour. But a few days after this, a friend of mine gave me a great idea. So I have a 2 single channel doser sitting around. So I installed another one. Then I dose 30 milliliters every half an hour instead of dosing 50 milliliters.
Yep. And these are just all the products that we spoke about earlier that you use as well.
Correct. Yep.
Beautiful. So so going back to this pieces of advice thing that we got crucified for. Now that we've had a bit of time to think about it, when the Yoshi from day 1 of reefing, what would be the 3 best pieces of advice that you would give a young Yoshi?
Really, everything is important in this hobby. There's no 2 ways about it. There's no doubt everything is important. Even if the light is perfect, if the water is not good, it's not going to be successful. So I think my good piece of advice is probably when you decide to do this, like make sure that you get the most suitable. Doesn't need to be the most expensive, but the most suitable equipment. And if you are going to do the maintenance, do it every day instead of doing once a week. Like I said, the glass cleaning, instead of doing one big clean on the weekend, why don't you do every day? That way you can enjoy the tank every day, clean the tank every day, and the fluctuation in the water quality is minimized. So what I notice is that you do small work every day. It takes only 5 minutes, 10 minutes, instead of doing 2 hours work on the weekend, which helps a lot. Yeah.
Okay. An incredible amount of flow in your tank as well.
Yeah, this is actually not that strong because I turned off one of the supporting pump on the left-hand side just for video shooting purposes. And also I haven't done the maintenance on the gyro pump for nearly a month, so the flow is noticeably weaker.
Reduced, okay.
It's reduced a lot.
Yeah. So maintenance every day, little bits of maintenance more regularly. What's your second piece of advice?
Right, I wasn't prepared for that. But
So you're going to have 3. So first
Okay.
is daily maintenance. Second,
Okay. So I think we all do this hobby so that we can enjoy beautiful. So I think this is probably something that I talked about before, but enjoy corals, check corals, spend the time with corals a lot, because if you notice some changes early enough, then you will have enough time to do corrective action for it.
yeah.
So sometimes we get carried away, busy at work, we got going out, we got something else to do. But I always spend at least half an hour or maybe 1 hour every day
Checking
to
your
check
tank.
every corner of the tank. Yeah,
Okay.
noticing the problem early on is really, really important. Once that the problem is there, it's quite often too late.
Okay. Well, I think that makes it 3. So your first one is buy suitable equipment. Doesn't have to be the most expensive, but has to be suitable for what you want to use it for. Second one is just the daily maintenance, because it gives you that opportunity to be in tune with your tank, right? To know what it's doing, and more chance of stability, especially cleaning off the film every day as opposed to a big chunk once a week. And then, just getting to know your coral is just a bit of advice, right?
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah. Corals will respond to what we do.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite piece of coral?
I like all of them, to be fair. But I think this is something that I see corals a bit different from many other reef keepers. So instead of focusing on one piece of coral, I see the whole thing as one. Am I making sense here? So when I look at the whole thing, so if I have a new piece of coral that I want to put in the tank, I always think that where is the best place that I can put so that it does not really destroy the look of the entire tank, you know what I mean? So this piece of coral I'm putting in there to enhance the look of the entire tank. So I really care for the shape of the corals, not just the colors of the corals. Yeah. So that's why sometimes I refer myself as both a reefer. So it's like one thing, the whole thing. Yeah. That's the concept of this tank, really. So.
Yeah, to make sure that it's like it's not just one particular coral that you're looking after. It's actually the reef that you're looking after, right?
That's right. That's right.
Because I haven't been out to the Great Barrier Reef, but I reckon your tank probably is like pretty close, or if not better than the Great Barrier Reef, maybe.
It's hard to say because I have never been there either. So
maybe we can get Nick on next time and ask him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's gonna say. Yeah, it's like looking after 2 child.
Do you have any particular corals that you struggle with?
Yes, I do most corals all right, but one coral that I really struggle is chalice.
Yeah, okay.
Probably because
too much light.
Yeah, I think 2 reasons. Like you said, the too much light for most chalice, and also the low nutrients. Yeah. Probably another reason. I do feed them, but it looks like they're more relying on food and light compared to, for example, Aquapora. So they survive, but they don't grow as fast as I want them to be. I keep 3 of them, but they don't grow much. They probably have grown maybe a centimeter after a year. So that's
really?
Not the fast process.
Yeah. Oh, crazy. So what would you really like to improve on your system? Well, I think we answered that earlier, right? You want automated alkalinity testing.
automated alkalinity is definitely the first priority, 100%. And also, I also want to do another thing. I want to set up the automatic amino dosing system. So I thought it's not that difficult, and it should have been in place many months ago, but I haven't done it yet because a lot of amino acid requires refrigeration, and if you really think about that, amino acid in the dosing tube, I don't feel that's a good idea. That's not good. So
Yeah.
I need to find a suitable amino mix that can be used with the dosing pump, designed to be used with dosing pump.
I believe Coral Essentials amino can last 7 or 9 days if you mix it into RO. So you would mix it into RO and then you dose a certain amount, but the amino lasts outside of the fridge for 7 or 9 days. You'd have to double check. So you could probably ask Severin from Aquaforest whether his is similar, whether that could be done. But I know that it can't last out of the fridge for long, but it can last, because I mean the amino bottles aren't stored in the fridge of the aquarium, so I dare say there's a certain amount of time that it can last. Yeah, but I know that that you know, don't forget about me when you get that sorted.
That's a great advice. Thanks, David. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. If I can automate amino dosing, that's definitely will help.
Yeah, lovely. What do you think the one thing that a reefer really must have for his tank?
One thing that must have. I think really, when it comes to reef keeping, like I said, everything is important. But if
everything is important.
Pick everything is important. But if I have to pick just one thing, then I know that it's not something new or something interesting, but after 4 years of my reef keeping journey, I found stability has to be there. Stability is really one thing that
must have salinity on point.
Yeah, so chasing the number is definitely not the right thing to do. So it's trying to fine tune the parameters. Let's say my calcium is 380, I want to bring up to 400, so I want to do something. Then instead of doing that, if corals are okay at 380 and it's stable, just leave it.
Yeah, okay.
Just leave it and then they'll sort itself out.
Don't chase the numbers. That's some good advice. Don't chase the numbers, because a lot of people that I speak to with really successful tanks, even like one of my recent tours in Sydney, was seeing Akram who had a 15-year-old reef tank.
Wow.
15 years old. You've got to be doing something right to last 15 years. His tank was marvelous, right? But he said the one thing is don't chase the numbers. He runs 50 nitrate.
Wow.
50.
That's a perfect example. But if corals are happy, that's fine.
Happy and it works, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Now, we're getting towards the end of this now, so thank you very much. I would love to know, you've got a 5-foot beast out the back there now, but what's your future plans?
So I have a few plans here. So once again, the alkalinity automated testing and adjusting is definitely one. And also the photography skill is another thing. So if you are kindly following me on Facebook in the last 12 months, my photography skill improved quite a lot. But
sorry, I'll get you to say that again because your audio is just dropping in and out. So.
Okay, sorry. So the photography is one thing. So I would like to get, I want to improve my photography knowledge and skill.
Yeah. I think the man for that is Mr. Sam Parker. I mean, I think there's no question whatsoever when it comes to any sort of photographing that Sam Parker is definitely your man. But
I did speak to him maybe a few months ago, and they asked me, "How do you take such incredible fish photos?" I said, "Just point and shoot."
Well, you know. He's never allowed over to your place. So until I get there first, right?
Okay, no worries. Yeah, that's photography is one thing. Yeah. And cable management. I don't know if you have seen this video or not. Maybe I avoided shooting that part. The cable is just a mess, so I need to sort that out. It's getting a bit ugly. I saw it, so I need to sort that out. And of course. It's not gonna happen anytime soon, but in the future, if I can go for a bit bigger and preferably peninsula style tank, that is gonna be my next major project. I don't know when it's gonna happen, But I think
that I would love to see. That I would love to see. I think the only way your tank can get any better is if it became a peninsula.
Yes.
So
That's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
definitely. Now, to finish off this interview, one conversation that we had out of our very many conversations that we do have is you know, you're telling me the importance of bacteria in your tank.
Yes.
Right. So now
Yes.
can you tell everyone how you tell that you have a very healthy population of bacteria in your tank?
This is very simple, very easy. Anyone can do it from tomorrow. I smell the water of my tank every day. I wake up.
It doesn't sound as crazy. When you explain it, I'm like, hey, that actually makes sense. And then I was talking to someone else. I'm like, hey, like this is how Yoshi checks out his bacteria. He goes, they're like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. So I don't think it's as crazy as I thought it was originally. But
yeah, if you think about it, if there are lots of bacteria in food, you can smell it. Same goes to this tank water. So I smell the water, but it gives out some sort of like it's hard to explain, but it's some sort of like a sweet kind of smell.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's kind of a disgusting sweet smell. Sometimes it smells sweet, but it's not disgusting. Do you know what I mean? It's probably I'm probably not making sense here, but smelling, it tells you a lot. If you do this every day for a few weeks, I think you start to notice difference. And then, you will associate, oh, this kind of smell, tank must be right. Oh, this smell, not good. Something is not right. They start looking at this. So, yeah.
You know, so there's no surprise as to why you have one of the the best tanks in Australia. There's no surprise there. I mean, you're so in tune with your tank by doing the daily maintenance and inspecting your corals and really putting the time and dedication, because you don't get a tank like yours just by putting a light on top of a glass box and hope for the best and hope for your coral to survive. Like, you actually are nurturing the coral and growing it in an amazing way. And you're actually so in tune that you can smell the water and understand what's going on. So, a huge amount of respect for you, Yoshi. Like,
Thank you.
The artwork that you've created behind you is honestly just so inspiring that it's just unbelievable. So thank you for being you.
Thank you, David. But once the tank gets to this stage, pretty hands off. It looks like I'm doing a lot of things, but if I really think about it, I don't do much. Just that the system takes care of everything. I just pretty hands off. I just clean the glass and then watch the corals and feed the corals. That's pretty much it. So yeah, if you make a consistent maintenance into it and then pay attention, the tank will respond to you. It will just start doing the things for you, which makes your life a lot easier and just allow you to just enjoy your tank. Once you get to the stage, really, it's hands off. It's nice and easy.
Yeah, well, I actually saw a quote the other day that I wrote down because it actually made me think of you and your tank. And the quote is, by doing what you love, you inspire and awaken the heart of others. And you've definitely inspired a lot of people to really, persist, pursue, and push themselves to the absolute brink of craziness, to aspire to have a tank even remotely close to yours one day, Yoshi. So thank you very much for sharing your tank with us today. I really appreciate it. And I hope it inspires, heaps of people. If you have any questions about Yoshi's tank, feel free to leave a comment down below, because Yoshi will be more than happy. You can shoot him a message, to answer anything. But thank you so much, Yoshi, for taking the time and sitting down with me and just chatting. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did a lot. Thank you, David. We'll do this again soon.
We'll do this again. Hopefully next time we do this, I can do it in person at your tank and we can get some really cranking footage of your tank. And I'm looking forward to see how it changes between now and then.
That'll be awesome. I'll make sure I clean the glass for you.
Amazing. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give that thumbs up. just over here somewhere. Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and please, please, please share this tank with the rest of the world, because honestly, the world needs to know about this tank. So my friends, until next time, signing out for Yoshi and myself. Peace.
Now guys, how was that for an amazing tank tour? I was so glad that I was able to cover Yoshi's tank. His SPS, I reckon for me, like I said, it's one of my favorite tanks, if not one of the best tanks in Australia as well. So I hope you guys learned a couple of things from that video series. If anyone would like to get their tank featured, please shoot me a message, hit me up. We can do it in the same way with doing it via Zoom, and hopefully I can work out some more audio clarity issues. But yeah, feel free to hit me up, and anyone who wants to jump on board, whether it's a collector or a store, just hit me up and we can do some tours around Australia and share some love while everyone's still in lockdown, which is getting lifted soon. But like I said, this room is nearly finished, paint's done, stand's gonna go in, tank's here, sump's here. It's time to get really serious with this room and get this build going. And I've got this idea in my head of a type of scape that I want to do, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. I'm probably going to have to enlist the help of some friends across Australia. So some people might be expecting a message from me to come down to Melbourne when we can fly again. So if you've got any questions, leave a comment down below. Be sure to like this video and smash that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video on this channel. And until then, my friends, peace. Bow.